went 75 percentage points for Donald Trump. Why?
Misogyny.
It's on the border.
Do you know who's racist? Latinos. They're not quite white, are they? But they're not fully brown or black, and they are not doing what the establishment's telling them to do, and therefore...
And finally, we talk a lot about these different demographics and these assumptions of where they're going to go. Latinos in Texas, a district that's 97% Latino, went 75 percentage points for Donald Trump. Why?
Misogyny.
It's on the border.
It's
the border crisis is on their doorstep. And they were begging people to care about it for years. We need to take some lessons.
That's what that was.
The lessons are not
Knock, knock. Who's there? Oh my gosh, it's Whoopi.
Someone in the chat there, affection, they are brown. You're right, they are brown. So they can't be racist, but they can be sexist. You can be a brown sexist, and they must be, because there can't be any other reason that they are voting against this centralizing, nihilistic, corrupt system of cruelty and condemnation. Let's have a look at Morning Joe condemning Hispanic voters precisely for being racist.
I just say really quickly, too, Democrats need to be mature, and they need to be honest. And they need to say, yes, there's misogyny. But it's not just misogyny from white men. Mm-hmm. It's misogyny from Hispanic men.
Like, if it is a kind of unconscious misogyny that's somehow biological or sociologically inculcated in ways so insidious it's impossible to avoid or regulate, then what's Joe Scarborough saying that he hasn't got that kind of misogyny? That is the kind of haughtiness. But no one's better than anybody else. No one's better than anyone else. And isn't that it's like an important part of their position about sort of protecting vulnerable minorities and stuff. And yeah, so when you see him sort of sat there, I am essentially better than you. Here's some stuff that I think.
Right. It's misogyny from black men, things we've all been talking about, who do not want a woman leading them. Might be race issues with Hispanics.
We do not want to. You know what? I don't think people care. I don't think people care. Why don't you let me know what you think, though, in the comments and the chat?
They don't want a black woman as president of the United States. You know, the Democratic Party, I've always found when you're sitting around talking, they love to just sort of balkanize everybody into these separate groups and say, oh
my God, that's what. He's just saying, as we know, black men are misogynists and Latino men, males aged between 8 and 34, they are misogynistic from their kneecaps to their chins, whereas the older Latino man has blots of misogyny all around his muzzle. Like, they're doing that. They're balkanizing into demographics. That's one of the things that I thought Elon Musk said. Did you guys see this? On Rogan, he said the very thing that they keep accusing Trump of doing is what they are doing. You know, maybe that's why that kind of Nazi idea comes up a lot. Because when we say Nazi, what do we mean? Probably we mean genocide, and probably we mean mass centralized control. Do you think that's what we mean by Nazis? You know, the uniforms were, let's face it, out of context, terrific. So the problems must be the genocide, the bellicosity, the endless wars, the dominion, the deception, claiming that their ideology was derived from a religious theology and that it was righteous and absolute control. Now, are you not seeing some people, Naomi Wolf, when she was on this show, made precisely that claim. Naomi Wolf, Jewish woman, said that she believed that during the pandemic period, a kind of genocide was exacted. And in her book, The Pfizer Papers, she brought together various pieces of research that demonstrate that. So that's the sort of genocide side of it. Now, absolute control, we don't need me to explain to you that during the last few years, we've increasingly seen attempts to legitimize control. Now, I reckon big government isn't the only threat we face as a people, as a kind, as a species, as spiritual beings. Of course, global corporatism also is a threat. What do you think are the most powerful entities on Earth? You would have to say there are governmental agencies on this planet, and in your country rather, that are super powerful and influential, but you'd have to include the influence of big tech, of Google Alphabet. These are big, fearsome entities. These are the things that need to be opposed. And how do we do that together? Well, I think it's a lot more likely now than it would have been under the lachrymose, near-sobbing cavalcade of entertainment entities that are just bereft now that we're not getting Kamala Harris as president. Maybe Tulsi Gabbard will be president next. Wouldn't that be good? Wouldn't you be into that? I mean, now that we're picking jobs for people arbitrarily. Let's be honest, most K-Cup pods are serving you mouldy, pesticide-laden rubbish. Chains like Dunkin', They're stinking the place out with their stale coffee and expecting you to say cheers. 1775 Coffee makes sure you don't have to drink a chemical soup when you want a caffeine lift. 1775 Coffee steps in to slap the mediocrity right out of the competition. Their K-Cup pods are filled with single origin, high altitude beans, hand-picked by people who know what flavour actually is. It's coffee that will slap your brain fast awake. Faster, in fact, than a government scandal. Who doesn't need an injection of this new caffeine inflection? Kamala Biden? Get this stuff down here. You've got a choice of medium roast, dark roast and mushroom blend. Yeah, actual mushrooms like lion's mane and reishi to boost your brain power as well as giving you an immediate lift. Because let's be honest, if your coffee isn't strong enough to overthrow a small government, what's the point? This coffee is for people who don't want a participation trophy. This is coffee for winners. Go to 1775coffee.com, grab your 24-pack and tell corporate coffee to take a hike. That's go to 1775coffee.com, grab your 24-pack and tell corporate coffee to take a hike. Caffeine that will help you overthrow the powerful. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see more uncensored content where free speech can flourish, join our live stream. Click the link right here to watch the next video if you want to, or become a member of a growing movement. Download the Rumble app and you'll be informed every time we make a new piece of content. Stay free.